Good evening. Welcome. As always, and thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Nia, always a pleasant pleasure to see you. If we are doing a show on a Sunday night, then it has to be something that I feel is of great importance that uh, I want to speak on tonight. My good friend, I Miss Farris said you late. Yeah, we was having some difficulties here. We was trying to get things together, so I do apologize. But I'm here. To God be the glory for that. My beautiful angel Steve, I think that's what it says. Good evening to you and welcome. Anderson, good evening to you and welcome. As well, I trust and hope that everyone has had a good day so far. Hopefully, you have a blessed and pleasant evening. Miss Humphrey, my good friend. Welcome. Glad you're here. Before we get into what's going on in Houston, Texas, there is a situation in Lafayette, Louisiana. Tammy, always 100, never, ever fake. Good evening to you. Welcome. Tracy Taylor, my good friend. Welcome. Sandy's back in the house tonight. Good to see you. Good to see you. There's a unarmed black man that has been was killed in Lafayette, Louisiana. If all goes well, don't hold me to this. I'm trying to get there. Hopefully one day this week to Lafayette, Louisiana, to go and hopefully I can meet with the gentleman's family. Don't hold me to that. It's a thought right now. We're trying to juggle some things around, but it's not too far from where we're at now. And along with bringing that up tonight, it goes, in my opinion, to prove what I have been saying for a while now and what others are saying, because a lady left me a voicemail a couple of days ago and asked me to give her a call. And I did. And we spoke about, what was going on with her. But she said something that I always say myself, is that we are continuing to address the issue of police brutality and unjustifiable homicide and racial profiling by marching and holding rallies. If the marches and the rallies were successful, the least bit, we wouldn't have to continue to do it. So if we are doing this over and over and over again, maybe the old methods are not working anymore, especially when officers are coming with new tricks. Basically, she said what I've been saying. We have to address laws in this city. That's it. We have to address the laws in this city. Those that govern police officers, that gives them the right to kill, justifiable or unjustifiable, without fear of any consequences or retaliation. I don't think no police officer that's a question of an investigator should ever be placed on paid administrative leave. They should be on administrative leave, but they shouldn't be receiving a check. So every time another black man gets killed, every time another black man is racially profiled, every time another black man is stopped because he fits the description of a suspect, and when you ask him, the officer, what was the description? Well, in your mind, you can answer that. A black man. That's it. Any black man you see, that's him. Grab him. And it's sad that it is still that way in 2020, but it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. So it is imperative that we come from out of the streets, seriously. Come from out of the streets and get level-headed and start addressing the laws in this country. It's just as simple as that. If we ban a chokehold from the police department, they'll use another method. Let us not forget when Eric Holden was killed with a chokehold. That method was already banned. But did it stop an officer from performing it? No, no. The problem is with the individuals that we're choosing to give a gun and a badge to. That's your problem. It's not an academy problem. It's personal with the men and women that you choose to give a badge and a gun to in this country. So the protesting, it's just not working. That's just my opinion. I'm not always right and you're not always wrong. Miss Evans is checking in from Houston, Texas. I'm glad you are here tonight from Houston, Texas. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I see Jamie's in the house. Good evening to you. Banks is in the house. Miss Hot Pink is here as always. Love you big time. Now, you know, when I'm running from you or walking from you, I'm of no threat to you. I'm of no threat to you. Now, to pump bullets in me because you can't catch me or you're upset with me not obeying you, whatever the case may be, that's illegal. That's illegal. As I always say, you may can justify as a police officer one bullet. You probably can. You may can justify two, maybe three, maybe. But anything after that, in my opinion, is questionable. Anything after that. Shannon Lewis, welcome, welcome, welcome. The phone's been ringing all day. I've been on the phone all day. The first call I got today about what we're getting ready to get into tonight, that call came from Miss Ferris to me. Amen. I agree totally. Miss Banks, is that Miss? Yeah, Miss Banks. Amen. She's okay. Look at my good friend Tanya Fine. It was my intention to give you a call today. Forgive me, I didn't get a chance to with what's going on now, but I am going to give you a call within the next couple of days about your brother because we're trying to get you guys ready to be on air one day this week. But I promise you, I will give you a call on that. I have his picture and stuff ready. So, you know, sometimes I get busy. I hope you understand. Now, Miss Ferris calls, and we're talking about shootings in Shreveport. And somewhere in the conversation, she just kind of like cuts me off and says, okay, but that's not why I'm calling. This is why I'm calling. And I said, okay. And she told me about the incident of a 2-year-old girl in Houston, Texas. She had already sent me the information, but I took a break yesterday and I rest, didn't check anything. So it was already there. I just didn't know it. So I've been digging. And I'm sure most of you have heard the story by now. I'm going to play something for you. I'm sure some of you have probably already heard it, but I'm going to play it anyway for those. I'm sure someone here have not heard it, but if you did, I want you to hear it again. And I think it's only about, let me get it up, about 2 minutes long, I think. And then we'll go into what happened to this little girl. The dog came. The dog passed off on the scene, and as soon as the dog came, the dog passed out. Then the helicopter, right after that, the helicopter ran out of gas. There was nobody looking. The community did better than what the police did. My baby could have been anywhere at any time. And they have the nerve to
her ABCs. She know her 1, 2, 3. She know her colors. She only 2. She know how to talk very well because of us. Me and my girl. She was smart. She was growing up to be so. When was the last time you saw her? The last time I saw her is when my gal would come in. My gal put her in a park. She came and gave me a hug and told me she loved me. This is her routine every day. My mama could tell you that she loves me. This is her routine to tell me she loves me, hug me. And I sit here and play the game. She come for me, you know, we eat and everything. That's the only reason why my gal came in the house is to fix us something to eat because we haven't ate. So I called her and told her in 5 minutes, it was only 5 minutes after so she was gone. And they don't realize my apartment, the rent lady had a whole operation, a sting on her for being for sex trafficking. And they let the lady out the site.
Okay. Now, that was the boyfriend to the I'm saying this right, mother of a 2-year-old girl that went missing in Houston, Texas, Saturday morning, sometime after 9:30 a.m. Fearless One, I'm reading your comments. If you would like to call in, that would be great. I would like to ask you about the bayou that you runs in the back of you. If you would like to call, or if not, you don't want to call on air, you can, when time allows you to do so. I'm getting ready to get to that, Sandy. I'm gonna, before we get to the little girl, let me just go to his video first. I want you to pay close attention to the ending. It's like the reporters abruptly ended it on purpose because not only did they not want to hear what he was getting ready to say, it wasn't relevant to the case at all. She's the end part, yes, sir. It wasn't relevant. Now, the landlord just got out of jail, I guess, so they would let her go because she's doing sex trafficking. He started out with something going on in the apartment, then he killed it, and he went to that, and he put great emphasis on it, sex trafficking or whatever. Now, I don't know if this part is true. I've talked to a couple of people. No one can confirm it's true or it's not true. The dog passed out. The dog passed out. And we do know it's hot. The dog passed out. Well, the helicopter had an issue too. The helicopter ran out of gas. The community did more than the police department did. Y'all didn't do nothing, y'all. That's my baby. She know ABCs 1, 2, 3. She gonna be somebody. Ask my mama to get the kittens. I love you. I've been doing this for a long time. A very long time. Good evening, Scorpio. Welcome. I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm not always right, and you're not always wrong. Now, I don't want to speak premature and make an ass out of myself. But his performance sucked. It sucked. I listen to what you say, but I pay more attention to your body language than anything that you're saying. Tammy, you're absolutely right. We're getting half truths again with a whole lot of lies. There is a 2-year-old girl. Sometime after 9:30 a.m., the mother leaves the child unattended on the playground at the apartment complex where they're at. The boyfriend, who I'm told is not the child's father, he said he was. He may be, but I mean, from what I'm getting, he is not the child's father. He is the stepdad. Now, that may or may not be true. This was given to me just a little while ago, so I can't confirm either. His name is Travion Thomas, I think. He's 21 years old. I'm told that they have only been dating approximately 4 months. Okay. We were hungry. We haven't had anything to eat. So the mother went, I called the mother, told the mother goes in the apartment to fix the child, fix us something to eat. He goes in with the mother. The child is left on the playground unattended. If you all hadn't had anything to eat, then I'm sure the child hasn't had anything in her stomach either. And even if she did, she needs to come on in and eat or just come on in. I don't care where you live, a child that young, even if you have your home, never leave them unattended. Never leave them unattended. Now, mind you, exactly. Fearless One says, let's hope you don't get off like Brittany Barnes. Exactly. Now, mind you, the child was kidnapped in less than 5 minutes. In less than 5 minutes, the child was kidnapped. The child was last seen wearing a multicolored tank top and shorts to match. She had a pink and white pillowcase with her, with letter blocks on the inside of it and toys. Now, I was wondering, why did she have a pillowcase with toys and letters? Someone called and said because I think the tar box she had, something had broken. He had given her that, to put her toys in. The cause of death has not yet been given, but an Amber Alert is issued, I think, sometime after midnight. It's issued. Now, about 10:30 this morning, a jogger, I think it was this Houston Southeast Bayou, correct me if I'm wrong, someone, it's where a lady, good evening, call you live on air. Hold on for just a second, please. A lady was jogging and she spotted what she thought was a body in some water. She calls her husband. He comes, confirms there is a body. The police are called. The clothes that this little girl, who their nickname is Tootie, were last seen wearing were the same clothes that this little girl had on. However, we still have to wait for the medical examiner to positively identify this little girl. But the chief said that after speaking with the family, he's positive this is going to be the missing little girl. Now, there are major issues that I have with this, and I'm going to answer the caller here real quick. But one of my biggest problems is if the math is right, how did the child end up approximately 15 miles from where she was last seen? Good evening, caller. You live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
Hi, Mrs. Scott. I'm sorry. This is Dion. I'm from New Orleans. I live in Humble, Texas.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
I've been following you for quite some time. I think I like really started like knowing of you when the Maliyah case was going on. I found your channel and I've been following you ever since.
Amen.
I'm just like I just really found out about this other little girl that's 2 years old out here in Houston. What happened to her, and I'm really disturbed by it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have a story beyond stories that I could even say, you know what I'm saying, but that is not the topic of the conversation tonight. But I mean, in regards to this little girl, I mean, for one, I mean, I was able to hear some of the stuff that you were saying because I was moving around in my kitchen. Forgive me, but I know that the situation that it looks like to me, the father did not look sincere at all. His fake crying. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. As you say, Mr. Scott, you're not always right and you're not always wrong. And I feel the same way. I could be wrong. I could not be wrong. But the father looked phony to me. There was no crying. Mm-hmm. The female, the supposed to be mother, was not taking care of her business, as far as I'm concerned, exactly. In the way it should have been. Mm-hmm. Is nowhere in the world a 2-year-old little girl, a child, period. Any child that's not able to defend themselves and really, you know what I'm saying, get away from any danger should be left alone. So I don't care if she felt like the little girl was outside and she was on the playground and she was looking out the window. No, you should have been there with your daughter. There's no such thing as your little child. You looking out the window and then you look away and then all of a sudden it's gone. Mm-hmm. They're gone. How many times does this have to happen? Period. All over the world, different places. How many times do it have to happen for people to realize things happen, whether the parents had a part of it or whether they did not have a part of it? It comes a time that you have to be responsible, and it should not just be something, oh, well, you know, the child, you know, whatever, and we're going to try to bury the child and nothing happens mm-hmm. to the parents. No, you're irresponsible, exactly. And that's unsupervised neglect. Mm-hmm. And you should be held accountable for that. It's enough is enough of you already. And I am just sick and tired of it.
I have to agree with everything that you're saying. Enough is enough. And you're right. I don't know how many more cases we have to read about before parents go, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. And not to mention, when you brought up the child being left unattended, not to mention that the coronavirus is still out. And correct. So you don't leave your child out there all willy-nilly. And I might be wrong too. And so that's why I don't want to speak prematurely. But if his acting sucked, he wouldn't even get nominated for an award because it just sucked. I mean, we go from saying the dog passed out to the helicopter ran out of gas to the landlord is running a sex trafficking thing. I'm like, well, what the hell does that have to do with your daughter being missing? And then he spoke about her in past tense. Come on. Wow. Come on.
Wow.
He knew she wasn't coming back. He knew it.
Yeah.
He knew it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he had something to do with it, but I'm gonna tell you, something ain't right. Something is not right.
Something definitely is not right. And I pray to God in the name of Jesus Christ that this is not another situation that gets swept under the rug, that look like it's being swept under the rug and nothing happens to the people that should be held responsible. Because no, these people should be held responsible. CPS knocks on people's doors when they probably should not be interfering in certain people's lives, and certain people that should not be a parent should not, you know what I'm saying, they should be held accountable for certain things when their child, something happens to their child, they should be held accountable. I mean, the charges that should be pressed. I mean, there's a jail system for a reason. You know, it's just ridiculous. I am just like, I had to tell my daughters that I have a 16-year-old daughter that, you know, is trying to grow up and want to get out and, you know, be a 16-year-old. But I am so like I told her the other day, I say, it's either I care too much or I don't care enough. People may think. I'm overprotective of my children because I don't want nothing to happen to them. Exactly. I don't want to be that parent that be on TV talking about I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't. I shoulda did this. I didn't do that. I don't want to be that parent. And my other daughter is 14. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'd rather be safe than to be sorry. And if it's better being at home, it is what it is. We'll make the best of it.
I mean, I applaud you. I agree totally with you rather than say, well, I'm going to be a little lenient, let them do this and do that, and I'm not there. And then there's some sad singing and slow driving because you loosen the belt up, and it's, I mean, if not anything right now, but child neglect, child abandonment, I would say lock both of them up right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no pity for them, especially when they get on TV in front of the cameras and they act. And I don't know if they realize this, but when cases like this come up, not only do people replay the tape over and over again, the police department do the same thing.
Yes.
The exact same thing, and they're looking for inconsistencies and fake, the chief did say it is a homicide. They hadn't said how she was killed, but we do know that there's foul play. But I thank you for calling in so much, and I gratefully appreciate you supporting this channel. I love you big time.
Definitely, always will. Thank you. Love you too, Mr. Scott.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good evening, calling you live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from? Hello?
Hi, this is Diana. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Good evening, Diana.
I actually live right across the street from where the little girl supposedly went missing from.
Yes, ma'am.
And yesterday, my husband showed it to me, and I'm looking, and I really couldn't find a lot of information. And I thought it was weird that, there wasn't a lot of media coverage, yesterday. And it was, I guess because maybe it had just happened, but it was just so weird to me that I couldn't really find too much about it.
So,
and then today, finding out about the little girl, or, finding out about the girl that was found today, and then watching the boyfriend, being interviewed, and you could tell that he wasn't even, I don't know, maybe he had something to do with it because the way he was acting, like, it was just so fake to me. It didn't seem sincere the way he was acting.
I agree with you, and videos like that, we always pay close attention to, but you live across the street from whether she was witnessing that?
Yes, I live right across the street in the apartment.
So have you ever seen the parents before?
No, and also like Maliyah Davis's case, she lives right down the street from where I lived, and her family was out there passing out flyers. They even stopped us and gave us flyers, but I didn't see anybody, passing out or stopping, asking questions. Like, it was like a regular day.
Wow.
And it was it was so weird. You would think that they were outside, trying to find out what's going on, and there was nobody. Like, it was so weird. I was just like, that's why I said, like, it was so weird. You would have thought there was more people out looking for her, and there would have been like all these YouTube videos, and I couldn't find that one video yesterday.
Okay.
Today I found that one video of the boyfriend.
Okay, well, that's where I'm going now. With the boyfriend saying that the police wasn't doing anything or wasn't doing enough, you mean to tell me the way he was speaking about the police not doing nothing, he wasn't out there passing out flyers or asking questions? You didn't see him?
I didn't see him. I didn't see a mom. I haven't seen the mom yet, and from what I hear, those apartments are really bad. Out here they call them the slums, those apartments.
Okay.
It's not a really nice apartment complex, there's a lot of gang members and a lot of drug activity, but it's so weird to me that there's a Bolero like right next to the apartment, and there's video camera where supposedly that little girl was playing at, because it's like a concrete slab, and they call it a park, but it's not really a park.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bolero is right next to it, and there's cameras pointing, so that you should be able to see something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm wondering why they haven't tried to go and look at the cameras and see if the little girl was actually there even playing.
Now, you know what? Wow. That's great. That's it right there. That's a bombshell. And I'm sure, hopefully, that they have done that. But you made me think about something that the chief said, where her body was found they want businesses to check their surveillance videos. I think within the past 24 hours before she came up missing, I think, to see if anything is suspicious to them.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So these are like low income apartments, you think?
I don't know if they're low income. I just know that there's a lot of, it's not a good apartment. Like, for it to be called the slums, it's just, there's just like, you can tell there's a lot of activity over there, but, I keep away from it.
Right.
Compared to our side isn't as bad. They're townhomes, you don't see a lot of what you see over there.
Okay. So, you don't know whether or not the couple actually lives over there or not?
I don't know because from what he's saying, it sounded like he was inside playing video games and the girl was outside playing. So I'm guessing they live there.
Okay. But you
I don't know, but it's just so weird to me that there was really no activity going on. It's almost like they didn't care.
Okay, so when you said no activity going on, they didn't care. Are you talking about just the family of the maybe the police or both?
Yeah, like I would say both. I know he was saying that it seemed like the police wasn't really working on trying to find her. I don't know how. I know that some lady found her, but it just seemed like in Maliyah Davis's case, I'm only using her because that's right down the street and it was so recent, and it's so weird to me that it's in the same area. They almost have the same exact name. It's just so weird. Like, they were everywhere. They were all the way down Bissonnette. Passing out flyers like actual family members. And over here, you didn't see that.
Right. When Miss Ferris called me today and told me about it, and that was the big boom for me when she told me her name. It was like, very, very close to Maliyah's name. Yeah.
And then, I'm always on top of, missing cases. Like I'm like my own little detective. I like to find out everything about the case. I go look for any videos, any updates. And with this one, like yesterday, when my husband told me about it, because he knows I like to read up on all this stuff, it was so weird to me. I couldn't find not one video. I'm trying to click on the news clips and I couldn't get not one news clip. So I was like, maybe they just don't have information because it's the beginning of it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like with the other cases, they had so many, news clips and all these YouTube videos. So it was just like, almost like, okay, she vanished. We're just going to see what happens.
Exactly. I thank you so much for calling in this evening. You made a lot of good points there and stuff. Hopefully in the next few days, we'll know a little more than what we know now.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you big time. Thanks for your support.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I think it's Miss B said that she's not blaming the police. She blames the parents for neglect. You just preached, Miss B. You just preached. I agree with you. When things go wrong with our kids, we always have a tendency to blame the police. They're not doing enough or whatever. But then sometimes we have to put our children in certain predicaments that they shouldn't be in. So it's kind of like trying to get the attention off of me and stuff. So I don't know if he did anything, the mother did anything, but as I said, I don't want to speak premature, but something's not right. His acting skills suck. And I've watched that tape probably 20 or 30 times today, over and over and over again. And I'm listening to every word he says, and I'm watching his body language. So, if you ask someone and you interrogate them, and the police will tell you this here, did you kill that person? And they'll go like, no, but the head shake yes. Well, that's an indication that you're lying. The mind is saying yes, you're saying no, but you have to watch the body language and stuff. And it's almost eerily similar to the Maliyah Davis case. The child was found extremely fast. But my biggest question is that how did she get 15 miles from the apartments, and when a lady called me a little while ago and she broke it all down, she GPSed it. It is about 15 miles from where she allegedly went missing, but in a vehicle, it takes you about 35 minutes to get there. So I think we can all say on this live feed tonight, without a doubt, that she didn't walk there. She didn't walk there. I don't think she caught a bus there. I think God has created a lot of wonderful things. I mean, just amazing things. Wonderful. A lot of gifts we get from God. But I think the most precious gift of all that God gave us was not given to a man. It was given to a woman. She has the ability to create life. And I think that's awesome. But when you create life, you should protect that life like you created that life. This is happening too often. It's becoming the norm. And it just puts you in a, wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe what is happening. And a lot of people are angry. I'm going to read you a couple of comments that we got today. When we put this story out, I mean, it just went, it went extremely fast with people commenting on it and sharing it. And I'm going to read you some of the comments that some of the people have been saying. Mr. Thompson said, these poor babies are suffering. Urban Brown says, oh my, this is happening too much. Langford, this is sad. This is almost like the Maliyah Davis case. Some are saying, rest in peace, Angel. We're praying for the family. Miss Batiste says, man, they just keep killing the babies. And that's it. And they do. So we don't know what happened. There's nobody that I can really point the finger at right now and try to raise some hell and make some noise. But everyone that plays a part in creating a child shouldn't create a child because they're not parents. We said this a lot during the Maliyah Davis case. When Brittany should have been teaching Maliyah about stranger danger, she couldn't because Maliyah's mother was her stranger danger. And that's sad when you're living in the house with your killer. That she was on her way to the to see her mother, and the police better get her before she do. Okay, something you left off, Steve. I just caught the ending of it and stuff. Precious little girl, very precious. And to just think about her found floating in water is very painful to even not only speak about it, but to try to visualize it. I have no pity for parents or anyone that hurt kids. My only problem when this happens is if there's an inkling about anyone, especially the parents, that may have some involvement in this or may know something that they're not saying. Well, I think if we change laws, one law I would like to see in place when this happens and the parents or anyone becomes suspect, we should be able to lock them up on suspicion alone for at least 90 days. And you can let them go any day within the 90 days. But if not, they will be in there for at least 90 days. And if you don't have nothing then you let them go. But when you do this, sometimes you break people when you lock them up. Someone just said, Tina Holland, no, who said, how can you, I missed it. Someone said something about how can you teach them that when you are the parent? I think that's what that person says. Yes, Miss Williams. But here's the thing. Great comment. She wants to know, how can you teach that when the parent is the stranger danger? And that's very difficult, if not impossible, because we don't know. We don't know. We automatically assume that the mother that carried the child in the womb will protect that child when the child comes out the womb, like she was protected inside of the womb. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening? Hello? Okay, we're not going to do this tonight. So if only for neglect alone, coming from their mouths, those two individuals should be locked up. They should be locked up. That's just my opinion. A child trusts you because you're the parent. They do not expect for the parent to do them wrong. Whatever a parent or guardian tells a child to do, that child will do it because they know you love them and you're not going to put them in harm's way. Good evening, calling you live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from tonight?
This is Rocky Falls. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Good evening, Rocky Falls. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Mr. Scott. I do want to first say I thank you so much for your work and your dedication on these cases, on our politics and everything that's going on. I really appreciate you keeping us updated on what's going on, and I love your perspective on things.
I thank you so much. I really do. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Now, what I caught while I was watching your live is that I didn't realize that the video or the audio of the young man was prior to the baby's body being found. I thought this was after the child was discovered. So you mean to tell me he was speaking in past tense and doing that fake crying before her body was found?
If I am correct, yes. If I am correct. Now, don't hold me to that, but from what I've been told, I was thinking he did that video prior to her being found. That may not be true now. And so if it's not, then I'll come back tomorrow or later and apologize for doing that. But he was speaking about her in past tense. So if it was after, then we understand speaking about her in past tense. But if it wasn't, then that's a problem to me. But don't quote me on that. That's what I'm thinking from what I've read and someone else has told me. But I could be 1,000,000% wrong.
I'm really getting sick of these women allowing these men, well, with the Brittany with the other Maliyah. And isn't that ironic? This child is Maliyah as well. Isn't that's messed up?
I know, right? Yeah.
But they letting these men beat their kids to death, kill their children, or they killing the children. For what? Go get sterilized. Why are you having children and you're not going to take care of them? And who leaves a 2-year-old outside unattended?
Come on with it. That's it.
I couldn't even go off my grandmother's porch. Okay, and I was like 13. I caught a whooping for leaving off the porch.
That's it.
But we lived in a bad, tough neighborhood, during that time. But it's like no concern for these beautiful, beautiful babies that are just being killed. And we have to do better. I don't tend to want to talk about our issues in front of white people because they look for something to say, oh, I thought Black Lives Matter. Exactly. Yeah, we do matter, but we need to get on each other too. Because all this triflingness with not raising these children, they ill-mannered. You could tell they don't have no home training. These boys walking around here with their whole entire butt out with the man panties on.
Come on.
Don't have no respect.
You own it.
And you bring your children, got the children calling these Negroes daddy, and Negro ain't paid damn bill. I didn't hear that boy say he was on no job. He said he was playing video games.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
How trifling.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know, Mr. Scott. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I mean, you know, the only thing, I mean, if there's no visual signs that something is going on with a child that shouldn't be, then if there are other red flags, we're still going to miss them. And so that's why I say we have to make it easier for authorities to lock parents up that they suspect have done some wrong to their child or know what has happened to their child. That will begin the break-in process. Right now, you can do it on circumstantial evidence, but a lot of prosecutors don't want to take that gamble because they know they've done it. So they want to wait until they got solid evidence to put handcuffs on them, you know. But we got to make it more easy for authorities to say, turn around and put your hands behind your back. I mean, I don't know what the ladies with the landlord and sex trafficking had a damn thing to do with this little girl.
That you could tell right there. That's him trying to throw it off to say, well, oh, here's another idea of what could have happened to her. That's what a guilty person does. They'll say something like, oh, well, so-and-so, you know, he a child molester, which have nothing to do with why y'all left this baby, allegedly, outside with nobody watching. She could have got hit by a car, a dog, a stray dog could have came along and mauled her. You know, they snatch children. And like the other young lady said, we have a pandemic going on out here.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So, you know, at 2, the child should still be close to you. But as you just said, even closer now because of the coronavirus, you know. And one thing, you know, that keeps entering to my mind when kids, you know, are found dead, I often wonder if they know what's getting ready to happen to them. And if they,
I hope not, Mr.
Yeah, I know, because I mean, and especially if it's the parent that's getting ready to choke them, and you got to look your child in the eye, and the child is looking with water-filled eyes, like, you're my mother, you're my father, why are you doing this, or whoever it is and stuff. So I often wonder if they know, and I would rather they didn't know, opposed to them knowing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And also, you know what I also think about when I hear these cases is just like with the other Maliyah. These women let these men molest their kids because they want to hold on to the man, keep the man. Oh, my child could be a sacrifice, sure. But then something go wrong, the baby gets injured, or they feel like, oh, we're going to get caught. So guess who got to go? The child.
That's it. And you know what? And that is so true. We did a story last year, and I can't remember what it was, the names of the people, but a mother and a stepfather was locked up because the child was taken to the hospital unresponsive, and the child later died. This was, I think, a newborn baby, I think, and the stepfather, the boyfriend, was molesting the child. And not only did the mother know, she stood in the doorway of the bedroom and watched the man molest her child and torture her child. So we got to make laws easier.
And the mammies, I'm not even gonna call them mothers. The mammies need to get a harsher sentence than the Negro. I'm sorry. The mammy needs to get a harsher sentence because you the one carried that baby for 9 months. Oh,
there's no need to be sorry. I agree with you 1,000,000,000% on that, because we have a tendency to say, well, if the boyfriend. Okay, yeah, if the boyfriend did it, then the boyfriend is absolutely wrong. But you have to go back and look at this. This Negro wouldn't be in the house if it wasn't for the mother.
Right. And in a non-working, lazy bum, you got laid up in your house. You getting our tax dollars for your housing and assistance or whatever you getting for you to have a bum. And you know what I also think, Mr. Scott? The project should be the safest place in the world because it's only supposed to be for women and children.
Come on now, bring it home.
Why are y'all bringing these sorry men? But you got sorry, trifling women that's just criminal and worse than some of these men too out here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's no reason that the project should be unsafe because it's not for a bum to go lay up over there and eat up the kids' food.
And you know,
they need to do something about that too.
Yeah,
cut some of that stuff off.
I agree. I see them in the grocery stores all the time, and I see the child walking behind the mother and the father of the boyfriend or whatever, and the male is putting everything in the basket that he likes. He's got the brisket, he's got the steaks, he's got the pork chops. Mm-hmm. I see the child pick up some Ritz crackers. Put that
down! Yeah. And I've seen in the house, this was back in the 80s, so my mama used to run with some chicks that was some bad mothers because I was a designated babysitter, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm at the woman's project apartment in Galveston. We lived in Galveston. The bread was some cheap molded Fiesta bread. She had her and her man's steak, and she wrote her name on the food that this was for me. And the children had wieners and the crusty, the old bread to eat. But her and her dude was eating steak and pork chops.
Oh my God.
And that taught me a lesson, though, Mr. Scott, because when I ate steak, my kids ate steak. When I ate lobster, my kids ate lobster. Yes. You don't sit there and feed no Negro better than you feed your children.
Come on with it. Come on.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting. You preached. You did. I totally agree with you on that, and it's sad because his name is not even on the stamps. But and even if he's not in the store picking out what he likes, he's at the dinner table before the children are.
Oh yeah.
You know. So our work is cut out for us. But listen, I gratefully appreciate you calling. I am about out of time here, and your support means the world to me. I thank you kindly.
I never support you, Mr. Scott. I'm behind you. I've been following you for a long time, and I'm going to keep following you.
I love you big time. Thank you so much. Y'all enjoy your evening.
Love you too, Mr. Scott. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let me say two things before I get out of here and get all teary-eyed about this little girl. Again, I'm not for sure if when the boyfriend was speaking, if it was before or after. I'm thinking it was before, but I could be wrong. And so if I am, I will come back and make that apology. So please don't quote me on saying he was 100% saying that it was before. So, you know, someone just says, I love you, caller. Amen. She brought it home. She brought it home. Your children are a gift. They're a gift. And we done talked enough about the bad parents, but let me say this about good parents. We tip our hat to you. You know what needs to be done to raise a child, to keep a child, to protect a child. And we applaud you for that. But it's so difficult for real mothers to sometimes believe that a mother or a parent would harm their own child that they gave life to. And it's difficult to believe that because they wouldn't do that. They just can't see it. That doesn't make any sense. But no, a parent wouldn't. A good father wouldn't. A good mother wouldn't. Wouldn't. Laws must change. Laws must change, and we must fight to change those laws. A child can't get nothing unless you give it to them. They don't eat unless you feed them. And when you look at her little face, this little baby, gone. Had her toys in a pillowcase, wanted to play, wanted to laugh, wanted to enjoy life. And for whatever reason, the child's life was interrupted. And that pisses me off. It really does. It does. As always, I thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. If there's something new on the case throughout tonight, I will come back and update you guys and stuff. Hug your kids, tell your kids we love your kids. Y'all have a good night.